In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to replace the front screen on the Samsung S22 Ultra using genuine Samsung parts, and in my opinion, the best way to do it. I've got this on a heat plate. I've got the heat plate set to 85 degrees C. It has been sat here for 10 minutes already. If you don't have a heat plate, a hot air gun or a hairdryer will achieve the same effect, although it might take a little bit longer and you might have to sort of hold it over it while you're lifting it up. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach the suction cup to the bottom third of the phone on the back cover, and I'm just lifting up gently, and I'm going to add a couple of drops of isopropyl alcohol just on that back edge, on that bottom edge, and you can see it start to move very slowly. That's how we know that it's warm enough. That isopropyl is going to soak into the adhesive at the bottom, and it's going to create a small gap that we're going to put a little bit of plastic card into. You can see that it's just starting to lift here, and that's going to be perfect for getting a bit of plastic into. So I'm using a little bit of thin plastic card that looks a little bit like that, and I'm just going to insert it into that gap, and I'm going to sort of use a bit of a cutting motion to separate that back cover. Just be careful on these edges because it curves round and the glass is very fragile there. That's why I recommend using the thin plastic card to do it rather than a stiffer bit of plastic like a guitar pick. So I'm going to run along this edge, and same sort of cutting technique, and I'm going to work all the way along this right hand edge first of all, or left hand edge, whichever way you're looking at it. Then I'm going to start on the other side. This is going to be the hardest part about this job, in my opinion, is removing this back cover. You really need to take your time doing this, because if you want to replace it with a genuine part, they're about 30 to 40 pounds to replace that back cover. So now that we've worked our way along the two long edges and the bottom edge, you should be able to lift it up from the bottom, add a little bit of alcohol on this top edge, and it should just open up a bit like a sort of notebook. There's a bit of resistance on this, so I'm going to take my time, lift it up slowly, and make sure that it doesn't crack. We'll be replacing this seal later, so don't worry if that gets a bit tatty. I think in the previous video that I made, I reused the seal, but I'm going to replace it on this one. Let's take it over to the workbench now to take it apart further. Now that we're into the phone, we've got about 9 crosshead screws that need to be removed. I'm using the sonic screwdriver to get these out, but a standard crosshead small, I think it's a Phillips 000 screwdriver to remove these. If you've got an electric screwdriver, it definitely takes the strain out of your hands and avoids finger injuries whilst doing this repair. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. Just don't claim compo against me when you've got repetitive strain injuries in 10 years time from replacing screens on S22 Ultras. But all jokes aside, these are a bit tedious just because of the amount of them, what's in this one. So that's 9 removed from the top. I always slide it down and take all these out from the bottom. So we've got 2, 4, 6 down here, and we're just going to do the same thing and get them all out of the way so that we can disassemble it entirely once these are out. Just before I get ahead of myself, it's a good idea to cover up these camera lenses. I use a little bit of Kapton tape just because it's very low tack and it leaves very little residue, if any at all. So I'm just going to cover up the cameras just to protect them from dust whilst we're working, because there's nothing worse than trying to clean it up afterwards. And then the other thing that I wanted to do before we went any further is just pop out the stylus from the bottom there, and then pop out the SIM tray from down the bottom there. Store those for reinstallation later, and then go back up to the top where I'm going to use a plastic spudger. So the next step is to disconnect the wireless charging coil, and I believe the NFC antenna here also needs to be removed, and that will allow us to lift up this little metal shield here and just fold it back. It's stuck down to the stylus holder just here. Peel it off there, but you can just leave it folded over like that. Next, we need to isolate power from the device. You can do that by disconnecting the battery just here. And then as for these other cables, I always leave those connected. The reason being that we're going to take the whole motherboard and subboard out in one piece. Disconnect the stylus holder and this connector here. There's another one just here that needs to be removed. And then I'm going to use the tweezers to get this plastic shield off, and I'm just going to insert them here and lift it up very carefully, just like that. That can be stored for later too. Go ahead and disconnect the front camera now. And that's just about this top area ready to be removed. Like I said before, I'm going to leave it in place until I've took everything out of this bottom area. So I'm going to fold the wireless charging coil back over. And if you notice on Samsung's, they have these little arrows pointing to like prying points. So I'm going to use the tweezers in that little spot, and I'm just going to lift it up very carefully there. There's another spot over here, and that's going to allow us to remove this plastic cover with the wireless charging coil still attached to it. We now need to disconnect the display cable from the back of the screen, so we can do that just there. And then there's 3 more crosshead screws that need to be removed at the bottom here. With those 3 removed now, just make sure that you have actually removed the SIM tray, because it won't come out if it's still attached. And then I usually get underneath it just here, and you can lift it up a little bit at the back end and then pry it out so it pops out or sort of slides out from the bottom. It doesn't come like straight up. You need to like lift it up at the back and then push it out that way. Keep these 2 guys attached. Just do a quick check to make sure that this is actually loose and ready to pop out. Then I'll just do one quick check to make sure that we can actually get this logic board out in one piece and there's no screws that I've left behind, which is all clear. So we'll lift up the motherboard from that end, and then we're just going to very carefully lift it out, making sure we don't catch on any of these connectors here. So that means that we can lift up the motherboard, the subboard, and the flex cables all in one, and then store it just like that out of the way. One slightly annoying thing about the S22 Ultra and other more recent Samsung models is that this front camera is glued into place. The easiest way that I have found to remove these without using any heat is to use one of these little chisel tools like that. And we're going to very carefully put it down the side of the camera and then just sort of cut the adhesive each side of the camera to make sure that it pops out. Once you've cut it on both sides, then you should be able to wiggle it out until it lifts up and comes out pretty easy, just like that. So you don't need heat. These are very sensitive to heat. Store that with the motherboard. And then the last thing that we need to remove from the chassis, apart from the battery, is this upper speaker or ear speaker, and that's held down by a couple of screws. Remove those and then get your spudger underneath just here so that it pops out. Nice and simple. So now the final thing that we need to remove is the battery. The very easy way to do this is to add some drops of isopropyl alcohol around all 4 edges of the battery and then use the suction cup to lift it out. It's tempting to use metal tools and things like that to get it out, but don't. Just use this and it should lift away fairly easily once you've let the alcohol soak in for 5 minutes. So with the battery removed and every other part out of this one, we can move on to reassembling the new display. So as I said at the start of the video, we are using a genuine Samsung service pack to do this repair. In your head, you might have thought, okay, we're just going to replace the front screen, but in actual fact, we're going to replace the chassis as well that it sits into. And it makes it a lot easier for repair in general, because all you're doing is taking everything out of the old chassis and putting it straight back into a new one. There's no gluing involved and it just makes it easier. So reinstallation is just a case of reversing the steps that we took at the beginning of the video, starting off with the battery. Make sure that that's pushed down and secured into place so that it's not moving around. Next, we've just got that ear speaker that needs to go in, and that was held down by 2 screws, both crossheads going here and here. Now we can make sure that the motherboard just drops nicely into place. I slide it around those cables and push it down like that. Reinstall these 2 connectors. Make sure that they clip into place here and just here. Then I'm going to use the tweezers to get this plastic film away. Then we can drop the front camera into place. As you can see, that front camera is moving around a little bit. So to combat that, you can use some UV curing adhesive. And the best way to do it is to make sure that the camera's being pressed down, add a couple of drops of UV glue, and then I'm going to just work fast with the UV so that it doesn't soak into the front of the camera. Add some more on this side, and that's just going to prevent it shaking around and just do a more thorough job, that's all. So now you can see that it's not moving, and that's all good. At this point, I can now put this plastic cover back over the top, connect that up, and I'll leave the screws until we put them all back in a moment, once the battery and the bottom half is sorted. Now we're going to move to the bottom area where we're going to put the charging port and subboard in place, slide it in and push it down on this back area, and that was of course secured down by 3 more crosshead screws. Get those 3 tightened down, and then move on to this little cable here. Make sure that this gets clipped in properly. If you have no image after the repair, then always check this cable here, because this is the guy that sends the signal from the main board, the motherboard, the logic board, the brain, all the way down the cable, and tells it to turn on and show a picture. So with that secured, all that we've got left to do in this bottom area is get the loudspeaker back in place. Make sure that it clips in and it's not stuck out anywhere. And then there were 6 more crosshead screws to secure down. I made a very similar repair video of this same model about a year ago, or just over a year ago, and it was interesting to watch it through before we remade this guide and just make some small improvements in it, listening to the comments. So I hope that this has covered everything in this guide, but if it hasn't, leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, what I could do better, or what I suck at. So that's all secured, tightened down. Let's move up to the top, where I'm going to peel back this little metal shield again. I can reattach the battery now, and this is a good stop point to check that everything is working properly. Just test your display and that it's showing a picture and everything. For the sake of the video, I am going to not show that bit, because nobody wants to see me turning a phone on. Fold this back over and secure it into place now. Let's get that bit of adhesive, the stray bit of tape. Secure that cable, the wireless charging cable, and now we've got those 9 crosshead screws that all need to be secured. This little electronic screwdriver was given to me by a company called Repair Outlet in the UK about maybe 3 years ago, and it's just been sat in a box in storage for literally as long as I've had it. And then somebody asked me for a screwdriver the other day, I remembered that I had it, and it's actually been a bit of a blessing. I don't know why I've never used one in the past. I'll put a link for the screwdriver and the screen where I got the part in the description below, and if you buy it, then I'll get a small kickback, which is always appreciated. You could also use the buy me a coffee link in the description below if you found this guide useful. It just helps us to continue creating guides like this. Now all that remains to do is to remove the adhesive from there and there. When I say adhesive, I mean tape. And then we can reinstall the back cover, dropping it into place and applying pressure around all the edges to make sure that it's secured into place. Make sure that you put your pen back in there, S pen, stylus pen, whatever you want to call it. But don't forget the SIM tray, and then you can turn the device on, and your S22 Ultra should now be repaired and ready to go.